The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is a famous narrative poem written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, first published in 1798 in the collection Lyrical Ballads, which he co-authored with William Wordsworth. Here is a brief summary of the poem. Summary. The poem tells the story of an old mariner who stops a young wedding guest to tell him a harrowing tale of his adventures at sea. The mariner describes how his ship was driven off course by a storm into the icy waters near Antarctica. There, they encounter an albatross, which the mariner impulsively shoots with his crossbow. The crew initially rejoices at the bird's arrival, but they quickly turn against the mariner when the weather worsens and they become stranded in the doldrums. As punishment for his senseless act, the mariner is forced to wear the dead albatross around his neck as a reminder of his guilt. The crew suffers from thirst and starvation, and one by one they die, leaving only the mariner alive. Alone on the ship, surrounded by the corpses of his companions and tormented by his memories, the mariner is eventually rescued by a ghostly ship crewed by death and life and death. The mariner returns to land, compelled to tell his story to others as a warning against the consequences of mistreating nature and disregarding the interconnectedness of all living beings. The poem ends with the mariner expressing his hope that by sharing his tale, he can find redemption for his sins. Themes. 1. Guilt and redemption. The mariner's guilt over killing the albatross serves as the central theme of the poem, as he seeks redemption for his actions. 2. Nature and the supernatural. The poem explores the power of nature and the supernatural, with elements such as the albatross, the storm, and the ghostly ship crew. 3. Sin and punishment. The mariner's impulsive act of killing the albatross brings about dire consequences for himself and his crewmates, highlighting the theme of sin and its repercussions. 4. Isolation and loneliness. The mariner's isolation at sea, surrounded by death and haunted by his memories, emphasizes the theme of loneliness and the human capacity for suffering. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is celebrated for its vivid imagery, haunting atmosphere, and moral complexity, making it one of the most enduring and influential poems in English literature.